New Husqvarna TS248XD Mower cuts lot, plots, and trails. William Hovey Smith, 2022. This is Hovey Smith, the Backyard Sportsman. And this is the tale of two Husqvarna lawnmowers. This one is brand new. Bought it yesterday, brought it to the house. We did some adjustments on it that I'll show you. And what I'd like to do is talk about this one compared to the old one that I had, and show you why I changed up and how this one is somewhat improved over the old. I cut about 2.7 acres of grass, and I use the term grass loosely. This is more like a weedy field. It has lumps and bumps in it. I also have pine trees, so one of its requirements is to chop up pine cones. The ground is sometimes littered with small twigs and limbs, so we need to chop up a few of those from time to time. And we also have some inclines running about this steep. So consequently, this lawnmower has to do all these things, and just did. So it took me about 3 hours to cut my acreage out here. And that, I think, was a little slower than usual, even though this has a 48-inch deck, just by me getting used to the machine. The machine ran well, cut good, didn't stall out on me in any way, gnawed through some foot-high fire ant mounds, which had accumulated over the year, and generally, as you can see, cut reasonably well. The advantages that this unit has is my older unit had a small gas tank here, but this I was able to cut completely with one refill, which is desirable. It also has a few new bells and whistles that I'll show you. Make your own job, anytime, anywhere, at any age. A business book for everyone. Create your own job ideas, raise immediate cash, make a better job where you work, copyright your work, patent your inventions, form your own company, plan for a fun retirement business, and leave a legacy. The Kirkus Review of Books considered this a worthy book for the newbie entrepreneur, and the U.S. Review of Books put it on their recommended list. Make Your Own Job, Anytime, Anywhere, at any age is a softcover, e-book, audiobook, and is available from booksellers worldwide. Looking at the back of the mower, you can see the white gas tank, and if you look through this aperture, you can actually see gasoline in the bottom of the tank. Right now, I would say that perhaps it is 3/4 empty. So it's got about a quarter tank in it, I would suppose, at this stage. This compares to the much smaller tank, which is on the old model, which was actually up in front where the battery is positioned now. Bigger guys might want a bigger seat, but for me, that one's just fine. A couple of features compared to the older model. This actually has an hour counter here compared to the older models, which didn't. This also has a way of setting your constant speed right here. When you're running, you get up to the speed you like, and just pull it up, and then you don't have to press down continuously on this rather heavily sprung gas pedal down here. And that's a definite aid. Looking at the interior of the machine, you can see the battery position, and also now the engine. This is a 23 horsepower, but so far, yeah, it's doing pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and blow it out and put this away until next time. Until death do you part. An American family meets their Sicilian cousins. A romance adventure by William Hovey Smith. A vendetta killing, forced marriages, lust, love, hate, and revenge stalk Sicily's ruins in this land of blood, fire, and terror. An American family is cast into a world they do not know and are bound by ties of blood, honor, and respect to an uncertain future as they are hunted by a rival mob. 5 years in the writing, on location in the American Southwest, Louisiana, and Sicily. Until Death Do You Part is available as softcover, ebook, or audiobook from book sources worldwide. And that gets it cleaned up a little bit now. One adjustment that I had to make was to lower the deck's 4 rollers to their lowest position to help support the deck as it ran over my regular ground. Otherwise, the deck acts like a plow and attempts to push down any irregular mounds of earth and grass. The older Craftsman has a Kohler Courage 15 horsepower engine in it. And I've been working with this one and sort of rebuilding it. You'll notice at the very top that has a comparatively very small gas tank on it. And it also has a slightly slimmer footprint as well as a shorter overall height. So this mower I was able to actually get in a little tighter places, and in that sense it had some advantages. But I was having problems with the engine and especially the carburetor, so I replaced the carburetor, and now I have developed a leak. And the present problems with the engine is that I can get a starting sound from it, and it turns over and starts briefly, but just will not run, and winds up pouring gas out of the carburetor onto the floor. So that obviously needs further work. One other task that our new lawnmower has is helping me keep my trails and power lines cut. I like to walk these areas during hunting season, both for turkeys and in the fall. And so I cut them a few times a year so that they don't actually grow up to full height and it's not quite such a chore to do it. And as you see, I have occasional dead trees fall, and so we get these out of the way and go ahead and cut the grass. The lawnmower is now being introduced to its new task of pulling cart and cutting down trees off my trails. And to do this, I had to enlarge the hole on the rear deck plate so that the pin from the cart would actually pass through. That took a little grinding and enlarging with a drill till finally that pin would pass through cleanly. Now one could also fit a variety of hitches on here, but for me right now, this is by far the most useful. Just a simple pinhole. These are the trails as I like to keep them, with a loose leaf litter mostly blown free, as well as free from second growth sticks and vines that I can tangle my feet in when I walk out in the dark or near dark. Now this is the first obstacle I need to cut out. Yeah, I could maybe work my golf cart around through these fairly open woods and get back on the trail. But I'm just going to go ahead and, of course, remove this tree and this debris and get it completely out of the way so I don't have to worry about it. It is not surprising that I have found other trees down across the road. So I'm certainly glad I brought my chainsaw along. And as a matter of fact, the fallen trees have made the road so indistinct that really, unless I move them, you would hardly know where the trail was. We're now getting nearly to the end of the jumping off place. Now these two pines, and Hound Doggy up there ahead is eagerly expecting. We're now approaching the pond and his favorite swimming hole. Clearing these trails allows me golf cart access to 400 acres and a series of blinds I have. I hunt deer, turkeys, and wild hogs, as well as do on-foot still hunting when the leaves are wet enough to allow me to walk silently through the woods. Keeping the trails relatively clear during the year means that I do less work with less stress on the mower than if I waited to try to do it all before deer season, as well as gives me some useful physical activities. The Hollywood Review of Books considered my novel, Until Death Do You Part, An American Family Meets Their Sicilian Cousins, a must-read book, and said that it reads like a Hollywood film ready to be developed. A screenplay, Blood Ties, which is based on the novel, is available from my agent Calvin Frost. To see the full review and for more information, go to bloodties.net. My current work in progress is a family comedy for which a preliminary screenplay has been written titled Moving with Baby. The screenplay in the first chapter of the book is also available from my agent. After the book is completed, another version of the screenplay will be produced. Hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Goodbye and God bless.